Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
Okay, so once again, if you haven't seen my earlier videos on this, we're covering only college football for these first 2 weeks. There's no real NFL games. Well, there's preseason games, but not really games of importance. So we'll cover those in a couple of weeks. That's the week after Labor Day when the NFL regular season starts. Like I said, we're doing college football exclusively. This week is commonly known as Week 0. The games do count, but are outside of the regular season, which commonly in college football starts at Labor Day. This also allows teams to schedule Hawaii as an opponent, at which point they get financially compensated by allowing the NCAA will allow them to schedule an extra home game to cover having to travel to Hawaii. And I think Hawaii gets the same thing. I'm not entirely sure. Embrace the Grind It whole video about Week 0 that just came out as I'm recording this, so I'll put a link to that in the description. Okay, so the games we're covering this week are the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Dublin, Ireland. The Delaware State Hornets taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, the Southern Methodist Mustangs taking on the Nevada Reno Wolfpack, and the Montana State Bobcats taking on Los Lobos of New Mexico. Now, you're only going to see footage I recorded for games between Florida State and Georgia Tech and SMU and Nevada, as, well, there are no proper FCS teams like Delaware State or Montana State in College Football 25, so we're going to have to make do with what we've got. Okay, let's get this started.
The one becomes many. As a whole, they are strengthened by their diversity. Many parts acting as one. Passion, commitment, loyalty. For one goal. Loyal, forever, true, one. Tickets available now.
More than 200 animators and programmers. A multi-million-dollar production. Over 2 years in the making. And a cast of thousands. They said it couldn't be done in a major motion picture. They were right. Final Fantasy VII.
PlayStation.
Tuesday, Hayden scores a bowl game.
I gotta warn you, I may get a little wild at the victory party tonight.
I gotta warn you, I may get a little wild after the victory party.
I gotta warn you, we may not go to the victory party.
Coach, Tuesday after Roseanne, all starting at 9, 8 Central.
How will you survive the Miami Valley cold? Turn to the 2 News team of meteorologists. Carl Nichols.
I'll have the Miami Valley's most accurate forecast for tomorrow morning.
Tony Pan.
Get school and business closings first with Operation Snowfall.
Brian Davis.
And exclusive Radar 2100 radar will track our next winter storm in an instant.
Your best defense. The Miami Valley cold. Turn to 2 News.
Our first game is the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Dublin, Ireland. Now, we all know what happened with Florida State last year. Their quarterback getting injured resulted in them being punished by not getting invited to the college football playoff, despite the fact they went undefeated in a Power 5 conference in the ACC. And because of that college football playoff snub, basically half the team either opted out of the bowl game by sitting out for the draft, or entering the transfer portal, which resulted in a massive blowout that didn't really bolster their argument for inclusion in the playoff. That being said, the Seminoles have loaded back up via the transfer portal and are ready to make another college football playoff run. Most notably, they've brought in quarterback DJ Uyunglele, who played at Clemson and Oregon State previously. Now, Uyunglele did kind of struggle at Clemson, but he did have a career resurgence at Oregon State that turned him back into a hot recruit again. Basically, Florida State is putting all their chips to the table to make another college football playoff run. And yes, the way they've done this, they could easily go 10-2 and make the college football playoff, or they could not. I'm not saying they would go 2-10, but they could go like 4-8 and wind up missing everything altogether. On the other side of the coin, you have the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who are coming off a surprising 7-6 season, culminating in a victory in the Gasparilla Bowl. This season was basically typified by an amazingly bizarre upset of Miami. That being said, the Yellow Jackets have been building a very highly ranked recruiting class and could soon be contenders in the ACC, especially since Florida State and Clemson's leaving is more of a matter of when, not if. Added to that, the time difference in having to play a game in Ireland, and this could actually prove to be a bit of an equalizer in a game that could be much closer than you think. That being said, while I do think it will be close, I don't think it'll last too long. I'm guessing Florida State probably pulls away in the second half and wins this by a couple of possessions. So yeah, I'm picking the Seminoles to win this one.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you going to be purchasing any chicken in that fine retail establishment?
Foster Farms.
Well, you know, we're Foster Farms chickens.
No, you're not.
Sure we are.
No way. Foster Farms chickens are fresh and natural. No hormones, no preservatives. Besides, they're corn-fed.
Foster Farms fresh chicken. Always natural, always fresh.
Have you looked in a mirror lately?
What? Condoms, man! It's refreshing, man! Just another tool of the establishment just to bring us down! They say we gotta use them, but who are they? Well, they want to control us with their condoms, but not me, man, because I ain't wearing one and letting...
Chic, use one or get none.
Well, these are cool. I mean, I'd use them. I'd like them and I'd use them all the time.
Chic, get some.
Thank you! Thank you, Mr. Sheik!
Something of this scale, I mean, more than 20 new bands at a shot. That's a fair bit of work, am I right? I mean, it's like Mick always says to me. We do it for the love, man. Zeppelin 72 was nothing like this. It's sort of like vintage Bowie, you know? All shiny and unexpected, like. There's a whole magazine in here. I can read, you know. What do you think, I'm daft or something?
Our second game is a matchup between the Hornets of Delaware State and the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, and yeah, this one's actually going to be pretty short, as I really don't know much about Delaware State. I mean, I know they're an HBCU, they played for the Division II championship in the early 80s, but they haven't exactly been a powerhouse in the MEAC conference. I mean, they went 1-10 last year, so the only other thing I could really say for certain is I think they were the opponents one of the times North Dakota State hosted College Game Day. So yeah, that's about your analysis you're getting on that team, unfortunately. The other team, Hawaii, is coming off a 5-8 2023 season, with Coach Cliff Chang entering his third year with an overall record of 7-18, and yeah, he hasn't exactly had that much success, and he hasn't had the type of success that Todd Graham had, which was mild at best, and of course the glory years of June Jones are soon becoming a distant memory here. And yes, I am aware that Chang was a quarterback under June Jones, that's kind of why he's there, but still, the Rainbow Warriors at least do have a home game here against, all due respect to anyone from Delaware State, but an FCS team that just isn't very good, so they should really be able to win in a blowout here. I don't know how much effect it's going to have for their overall season. I mean, granted, if you go by the fact that they only won 2 games in Chang's first season and then 3 more the next, well, then they could just as easily go 8-5 or maybe 7-6 and get into a bowl game, or not, but I guess a win is still a win even in week 0.
I hate machines! Sorry, Rosie.
Why don't we go to the new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George? They have Sprint's easy-to-use products.
And the know-how of Radio Shack.
They even showed Astro how to use his mobile phone.
They could even help you, Mr. J.
Astro has a mobile phone? Hello, Rhonda.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
It's busy. Bubbly.
as in earlier incidents, the coolers bear the now infamous slogan, "Milk, it does a body good." No witnesses were reported.
With Tiger's new TalkBoy tape recorder, now you can be as clever as Kevin.
Stop drooling on me. Stop drooling on me.
Tiger's new TalkBoy tape recorder comes with audio cassette. Batteries not included.
Our third matchup is the Southern Methodist University Mustangs taking on the Nevada Reno Wolfpack. Now SMU is ready to make a big splash as they join the ACC after a 10-win regular season and AAC championship last year. They feel like they can maybe make the college football playoff, and Coach Rhett Lashley and, let's face it, the boosters who entice the recruits definitely have a loaded roster that could make this type of run, especially now that they're in the Power 5. If I do have a problem, I do think the Mustangs' defense is a little suspect at times. Now, Nevada is coming off a 2-10 record that resulted in a coaching change as they brought in former Montana State coach Jeff Choate. More on Montana State a little bit later. Now, Choate does bring in a very high-powered offense, and, well, if the video game footage proves accurate, the Wolfpack could actually be in for a really good season. That being said, I don't see them really winning this game necessarily. I think SMU probably leads this tape to tape and wins this rather handily. I don't know by 20 points, but definitely by quite a bit. So yeah, I'm picking the Mustangs to win this one.
What if we ran one more sprint? What if we spent one more hour? What if we did one more rep? What if we believed we could beat anyone in the country? What if we raised the standard? Why not us? Why not now?
Thomas Mullen? Yes. I just want to be sure that you understand your Dutch tulips are right on the street luge course. Luge course? Yeah. People are racing downhill. Aluminum boards, little wheels. Getting up to 70 miles an hour, pulling upwards of 6 Gs. Is that a lot? Oh, yeah. That ought to hold her.
Tuesday, are two kids too much for Jesse?
Twins are twice the responsibility.
You know, for an evil twin, you're not very nice.
Oh, good comeback.
Full house. Then, Sheriff Tim does the chores.
We are enlightened men, and enlightened men share household responsibilities, right?
What's enlightened? It means scared of mom.
Home Improvement Tuesday.
Our last game is the Montana State Bobcats traveling to Albuquerque to take on Los Lobos of New Mexico. Now, Montana State is an FCS program I am more than a bit familiar with, as, well, it took NDSU blocking an extra point in overtime to beat them in the FCS playoffs last year, which means the Bobcats basically just let their cross-state rivals, the Montana Grizzlies, dethrone the Bison. Now, like I said earlier, Jeff Choate was their coach that season, and now he's at Nevada, and he's been replaced by Brent Vigen. I don't know if I exactly pronounced that right, so apologies if I got it wrong. But I do believe they still have the high-powered offense that's capable of hanging with any FBS opponent. Now, New Mexico went 4-8 last season, and that resulted in a coaching change as they brought in Bronco Mendenhall, who's had some successes with BYU and Virginia before, though he's not exactly known for immediate turnarounds, and Albuquerque can actually be a pretty tough place to win, especially now that New Mexico State has proven themselves to be a consistent threat to go to the postseason, which is not going to win over what little recruits there are in a non-recruiting hotbed. In fact, I'm guessing that this is probably the FCS over FBS upset of the year, or at least the first one. I'm picking Montana State to win this. I don't see the energy coming out of Los Lobos right now, and yeah, it's like I think the Bobcats bring some fun, they bring some excitement. I do think they are probably going to wind up winning this. All right, we'll wrap things up after the break.
Hi, Trish.
Todd's working here.
Don't remind me.
Can he make it a whole shift without Duracell batteries?
I made these special just for...
Guess not. You can't top the copper top.
Good morning. Welcome to McDonald's.
And a bright good morning to you, madam. Let's see. I'll have your robust Egg McMuffin extra value meal. A cheerful farm fresh egg in the good company of a warm English muffin, Canadian-style bacon, and gracefully melted American cheese. With crispy hash browns and a small cup of Java. Truly a break that puts the V back in value. Seems a shame you only serve breakfast for another 39 seconds.
Have you had your break today?
Boys, it's Chet at the Dixie Mart. Probable code 0 in progress. Over.
Roger that, Foxton. What we have is someone dialing 0 to call collect. Hopefully I can defuse the situation by alerting them of the money saved with 1-800-COLLECT.
Phone patrol! Hurry!
It's still warm. I think I can pull a good print.
So to reiterate, I like Florida State over Georgia Tech, I like Hawaii over Delaware State, I like SMU over Nevada, and I like Montana State over New Mexico. Alright, so the next video is going to be it's technically Week 1 preview, but I'm just going to call it that. So the Week 1 preview, we're doing exclusively college games. We're doing North Dakota State against Colorado, Clemson against Georgia, that's in Atlanta, Penn State against West Virginia, Miami of Florida against Florida, Notre Dame against Texas A&M, and then the Labor Day game between LSU and USC. And then in between that, we're going to have some wrestling coverage. We're going to have TNA Emergence and WWE Bash in Berlin. That's on the 30th and 31st. So it might be the 31st for the videos to recap TNA Emergence, but I think you get the idea there. After that, we'll be doing Week 2 of the college football season and Week 1 of the NFL season. The college games we'll be covering are Texas at Michigan, Temple at Navy, Tennessee at North Carolina State, and Kansas at Illinois. The NFL games we'll be covering are basically all the primetime games here. We've got Baltimore taking on Kansas City, Green Bay against Philadelphia and Brazil. We've got the Los Angeles Rams against the Detroit Lions, and of course the New York Jets are taking on San Francisco 49ers. The last two are the Sunday and Monday night games, respectively. After that, it's going to be the random trade review on the Deathlock Marvel Masterworks Volume 1. And I packed quite a bit in there, didn't I? Basically, I was going to announce the games we'd be covering for what would be Week 1 of the NFL season in the Madden review, and because I didn't do that this year, I kind of had to move it into this section. So that's what happened there. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you can be alerted to further videos.